Hi everyone. The deacons have asked me, as one of my projects coming back, to begin a vlog series talking about how I ended up in this circumstance that I find myself in. I've decided that it's probably best to break it into about 5 units, 5 episodes if you like. And if you don't want to watch some or all of it, that's fine. But I'm happy to share my journey with you. Today's first episode, of course, is background. It's to let you know why this all began and why I ended up in hospital and having surgery and having a long recovery, a recovery that in all intents and purposes is still going on. Several years ago, it all began when I had a physical. I'm pretty diligent about having my regular physicals, and my doctor at the time, Dr. Nicholas Moore in Toronto, was doing what doctors do during a physical, and he was listening to my heart. And in the process of listening to my heart, he paused and basically said, I don't like the sound of that. That's pretty scary words. Immediately, he made arrangements for me to have an echocardiogram. Since that first one, I've had hundreds, I think. In the process of getting that echocardiogram, Dr. Moore discovered that I had a heart issue. He immediately referred me to Dr. R.E. Levison at Toronto East General for a test to explore a little more about what was going on with my heart. I still didn't know what it was. I still didn't know what they were looking for. At Toronto East General, I was giving a stress test. That thing where they make you get on a treadmill and run like as best you can at different speeds, and they have little monitors on your heart, and they were checking me out. And while I was on the treadmill, Dr. Levison was in the side office watching the readouts of not only myself, but 2 other participants on other treadmills. I hadn't gotten into my little jog very far when he ran out of the office and hit the kill switch. He told me to put my shirt on, and then Laura and I joined him in the office. He explained that I had a condition called hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy. It's often referred to as HOCM. Essentially what it means is that the left ventricle of my heart, the interior wall, is too thick. Whenever I exert myself, like all muscles, it swells, and it can obstruct the valve, the mitral valve, and therefore causing a major coronary event. It's a condition that is fairly common, and it's caused a genetic condition. Unfortunately, I was tested at Harvard, cost the government $5,000, but they never found any marker. I didn't possess one they knew about. In fact, it's so dangerous, HOCM, as they call it, that in Italy, for example, the young people who go to high school are all pre-screened for it before they begin any kind of sports. When you hear about a young person collapsing playing basketball or whatever, and passing away or dying, it's almost always a type of HOCM, an obstructive cardiomyopathy of some kind. Initially, Dr. Levison assured me that with medication, well, basically a beta blocker, and being very careful not to let my heart get above 110 beats per minute, I could live a long and healthy life, more or less. And that's how I did it for a long time. I was very careful what I did. I didn't exert myself, didn't shovel snow, didn't do any of that stuff. When I moved to Simcoe, I thought I was doing very well. And I began being seen by a new cardiologist, Dr. Naz, here at Simcoe, or at Norfolk General, a wonderful man, by the way. And Dr. Naz in examining me last summer, which would have been 2019, decided that I needed to have a Holter monitor when I'd had dozens of those. Excuse me. After the Holter monitor came back, he called me back in to see him, an appointment, and he discovered that I had a few unusual beats in my heart. And that's the danger sign for people with hokum. It was his decision or recommendation that I see a heart specialist at Hamilton General Hospital. They've got quite a heart unit there. Thus I made my first trip last October to Hamilton General Hospital, where I had an angiogram, where let's just say they put a camera from one part of your body up into the heart and use dye so they can see. Not a pleasant experience. I was bruised for a long time after that. Just black and blue from where they put the catheter in. Anyway, they took a really good look at my heart. I had an echocardiogram again, a very extensive one, and it was discovered that my arteries were great, my valves were good, everything looked really good, except I had the hokum. I had the thick heart. So it wasn't a plumbing issue, as they describe it. My issue was electrical. I needed an electrician, a heart electrician, so to speak. I was referred to the ambulatory clinic at Hamilton General, where the doctor assured me that as good as I am, I had a 5% chance of having a massive fatal coronary if I didn't get a defibrillator. A defibrillator is a device that stops the heart from racing. And this particular device would also have a pacemaker included in it, even though I didn't need it. But in the event that I did, it was there. So I returned to Hamilton General for day surgery, and on December the 18th, 2019, they inserted a defibrillator, and the lead for that defibrillator went into my heart and down into my left ventricle. The recovery was quick. Although I felt tired for about a week or so after. He even told the nurse on the follow-up that I was not feeling particularly energetic, and she sort of remarked at that, but did nothing about it. Got through a very busy Christmas, including a funeral of our beloved Barb Shepherd from the church, and things seemed to be okay. I was uncomfortable getting used to the thing in my chest wall, but I was getting used to it. And that's how I got to where I was in January when the other shoe dropped. So I will endeavor to tell you a little more about what happened to me from then on in January in my next installment. So there's your background, and I am the possessor of an unusual heart. Thank you, and God bless.